Really? Okay, hold on.
Alright.
So now it is working. Yes, it is. What up, everybody? Geeks of the Web here. Bash Stampede66, followed by my co-hosts to my right.
FT Grimlock, how's it going?
And Shield Maiden SA?
So, hi! Today's August 26th? 26th, yeah.
It's one of those days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
It's the day of the week. Ins and Y. Like, help us out here, folks.
Yeah,
26.
26.
Yeah.
Right now we're all here just chilling, relaxing. Why is this not? I don't like you. So,
They get audio. There's
You know, if you
it's
just
not the
Just-
audio, it's a chat.
Don't yell at them. What did it ever do to you?
Nothing, that's why I'm yelling at it. It would just do its job, I wouldn't have to worry so much on it. So, it's been a busy week for me. I've been pretty much chilled all week, I think. Big things happened. What about y'all?
I mean-
Deadpool came out.
Yeah,
Right.
Double
That
That
was
came
it?
out. We've got that. I'm of course working on some commission cosplay stuff for some friends of mine for San Japan, which is this coming weekend here in San Antonio.
Oh, that's
Um,
right.
Yeah, so I gotta have that stuff done here in the next few days.
That's this weekend, right?
Yeah,
Starting
this coming
Friday?
weekend.
You're going to be out there for Havoc, right?
No, we're not doing San Japan this year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we are reserving our energy for RealmsCon.
Okay. And that's October, right?
Yes, that is the beginning of October in Corpus Christi. I mean, we do have some members that are gonna be out there going just as attendees.
Yeah.
We're not doing a fan table this year for it.
You're not doing what?
We're not doing a
Oh.
fan table for it.
Threw me off. I thought you had said something else to that. Sorry. Oh, that's cool. That's about it, right?
It's been a fun week for me.
Why is that?
Promotion.
Yeah.
I got promoted, and the worst thing is you find out that everybody knew, but they couldn't tell me, and I was like,
Like we all were just like, yeah, you got it.
there's more to it. And
Yeah.
stuff I found out afterwards. I'm just like, all you had to do is like. So I told my boss, why can't you just look me in the eyes and say I can't tell you? And I've been fine, but he kept going like, I can't tell you.
Because by saying that, it tells you to. So.
Not really. But if he just says I can't talk about it, then that would have been
Yeah.
fine. But I digress. It's all in the past. I start my training tomorrow, so
That'll be fun. That'd be really fun.
So we found out the 511 store over by us is selling Black Rifle coffee.
Really?
Black Rifle, and they moved their home office here.
Well, yeah, we talked about that
Yeah.
last week. Yeah.
But
So if y'all remember last week, he did bring up that whole what's it called?
Black
Rifle coffee.
Black Rifle Coffee. 511 is a tactical store, so if y'all don't know, I mean, I'm sure by now everybody kind of knows them. They're military equipment, right? Isn't it? Or
Military security.
security.
511 started out as civilian workforce security guard type supply
Army
store.
Navy store.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even so much Army Navy.
Clothing.
It's more clothing. It's the type of pants you're gonna wear.
It's like tactical pants, right? With
yeah,
all the
tactical-
extra pockets.
Yeah, tactical pants,
Yeah.
things, security
Rip
guards,
stockings.
private security.
Yeah.
Also,
Paramedics.
yeah, paramedics. Also under clothing for that.
Like Under Armour, right? And all that, or-
A little bit. So here's the situation: when people work security, we know this totally isn't normally something we talk about.
Yeah.
We're just kind of tangenting here a little bit.
It's usually what we do.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little tangent dragging. So when you have private security that is wearing plain clothes, they still have to have ways to conceal their firearms.
Exactly.
So 511 is a company that designs tank tops, pants, shirts. Some of them actually have built-in holsters in them. They're kind of cool.
Yeah.
So that way these folks can do their jobs to the best of their ability, basically, is what it boils down to. And so 511 had gotten so big that it went from being just an online presence. They've slowly started opening up some stores in areas that have large military, police, EMT, and security
San
presence.
Antonio. How many bases?
Yeah. So they're opening up there, and like I said, the Black Rifle Coffee guys actually have a little section set up inside the 511 stores here that sell their coffee cups, T-shirts, other various accessories, which is kind of cool.
And then and we'll probably have some kind of announcement about this. Is that when they actually do the grand opening of the new store they opened up, they're actually going to be there.
Really?
Gus and all them are going to be there. So it's going to be kind of cool.
The
The whole reason that I bring it up is like you don't have to no longer have to order Black Rifle coffee online. It's being sold in their stores, and since it's veteran owned and operated, I'm always on board for that.
Exactly. Well, that's cool. I'm going to go check that 511 out. I like going there.
Bring a coffee pot to work so I can have my own coffee.
Exactly.
COF.
Well, that's cool. Oh, so I think you guys talked about it last week too. But me and Grim here went to Play Nation, right? Is what it's called?
Yeah.
Play Nation. It's a nice little place. Where is that? Clayborough?
Clayborough 1604.
Yeah. So it's out there. It's a nice little place. They have Xbox One X's, the PS4 Pros, pretty decent looking gaming rigs too for computers, like really nice looking ones. So you can go pay for some time there and play pretty much any of their gaming library. They have a crap ton of games. So I would, if y'all in the area, check it out if you want to.
I need to step away for like 2 seconds.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Maybe play on some Google. They had Google Fiber, I noticed too, with the internet. So
Google Fiber's going into our neighborhood this week.
Oh, fuck you. I need to tell you
something. No, it's not like literally these giant signs. I was like, oh great. Well, we fix our water because every time they do they put in fiber or new cable in their areas.
Yeah.
They use a water drill.
A water drill?
Yeah, basically it goes in and it blows the water in and it makes the hole for the cable. But the problem is it also causes the ground to shift, and every time they do that, houses in the area, their water pipes from the mains break because they're all PVC. So when the ground shifts, that's what happened to us and a few other people. So it's just something.
That kind of sucks.
But it's okay. We'll have fiber before you.
Yeah, I really want fiber. It'd be so much nicer.
So.
But it's cheap as hell. Is it like $15 or something? I think. I don't know.
A little more than that, like compared to your added on to your.
I already got that message.
That's true.
I'm already dealing with that. Yeah.
So yeah, that's another thing going on right now. But I would recommend that place. It was nice. I'm gonna try to hit. I need them. What else is going on? What else is going on this week though?
Well, there is stuff going on, but I like for next Sunday.
Yeah.
We'll have a movie review.
Which one?
I'm gonna go see Appetite Murders.
Go to that one.
That's the Muppet Show for adults.
Oh,
yeah.
I was like, I know this name. Why? And my mind went to freaking We Happy Few for a minute. And I was like, I know that's not it.
Well, it's not a movie. It's fun.
I know, but that's where my mind went.
But yeah, we're actually looking at going to go see that movie. And I'm sorry. The key thing is like it's Brian Henson.
Don't take your children.
Directly.
Yeah.
That's the key. Do not take your children.
It's funny they actually have to put commercials out that literally say, "Do not take your children to this." And I'm like, you would think because it says rated R on it.
What probably happened though is, I hate to say it, is our generation was raised on Muppets. The Great Muppet Caper, Muppets Take Manhattan, all of this child-friendly Muppets. And so I definitely understand where Brian Henson came out and said, "Hey, you know what? I bet my generation would love to see what happened to the Muppets after this." Yeah. To make the movie like what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
But not everyone is going to see it that way. They're going to see Muppets and be like, "Oh my God, they were such a fabulous part of my childhood. I want this to be part of my children's childhood." And so I'm willing to bet you what happened, because they do these movie screenings, and I used to go to them all the time, but I just don't have the time now.
Yeah.
And I'm willing to bet you people were showing up with their kids, and then people were losing their minds because, once again, folks,
take your children.
Don't take your children.
Yeah,
it is not a child-friendly movie. You will not look at Silly String the same.
And that's one thing. I guess because with the same mentality, the older generation is like, oh, it's a cartoon, it's fun to watch. Family Guy, Rick and Morty, Final Space, and it's like,
well, even some of those aren't acceptable for younger kids.
Well, I'm saying, but our generation, like our parents, are like, oh, it's a cartoon, it must be fun then. It's the same concept, and it's really.
And it could be. It could be that they're. And I really think it's. I'm sure the trailers you see for the show on TV.
Yeah.
Are probably much more PG-13 than what you're watching. Like if you go to see the official trailer on YouTube.
The Red Band trailers. Yeah.
Even not even the Red Band, but just like the ones like the official HD.
Yeah.
Tells me right there. As soon as I see Muppet Hookers, I'm like, not for children.
Exactly. It's like, no, this isn't gonna.
Or right. Look, there's somebody snorting candy up their nose. Literally,
yeah, exactly.
Welcome back to junior high.
No, the worst part about it is I guarantee you someone's gonna be like, my kids can handle it. And then next thing you know, we have the snort candy challenge or some other dumb crap.
No. We already did that. That was like 1987 to 1992. That was the thing.
Yeah,
and we got over it.
It wasn't on media. Now it's gonna be on media.
It's gonna be me.
I kind of have. I think you might be right.
Well, because eventually though, there's a point you snort the wrong candy, it burns so bad you don't even know.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
I didn't do it.
Oh.
No. What you don't want to do not mix Kool-Aid and Pop Rocks. I'm just telling you this from a friend.
Kool-Aid or soda and pop.
No. The Kool-Aid powder, not mixed Kool-Aid.
Oh.
The Kool-Aid powder with Pop Rocks.
Yeah,
no, dry. Yeah, no, don't.
So anyway,
Don't do these things.
Moving on.
Yeah, there's a friend I know.
There was a guy, new one.
One time, band camp.
Don't be that guy.
So one of the first things I want to talk about, because I thought it was kind of interesting, and I don't know if you guys keep up with it. They are making a Doom Patrol show. I know a few weeks ago I talked about the Titan show is going to have an episode called Doom Patrol, bringing out Beast Boy into it. But they are making an actual Doom Patrol TV show. So, what?
Wait, the Teen Titans. That's the one where you say Batman?
Batman. Fuck Batman.
Yeah.
So, they're making a Doom Patrol show. So, if anyone doesn't know, Doom Patrol started in 1963. Was a group of outcast superheroes, basically, that they banded together and fought crime. One of the main members from 1963 up until now, 2017, was 50 years, 58 years, 55 years, some shit. So, from that time on, it was different incarnations. You know, you get Beast Boy being the leader a few times. I think Beast Boy came out in the 70s or 80s, maybe. So, one of the original members, his name was Robot Man. Robot Man has been in every incarnation of Doom Patrol since 1963. And there's been about, for my I count, is about 7. Brendan Fraser is going to voice Robot Man. And he is going to be the body version before his accident. So he's going to be the race car. He is a race car driver originally. He's going to be a race car driver in the past. So I think it's gonna be kind of interesting to see Brendan Fraser try to come back.
I love to see him come back. He was actually on another show. I can't remember. Not too long ago, dealing with. He played a Texan, and it was actually pretty fun. But it'd be great. I like Brendan Fraser as that.
Exactly.
And because honestly, he was like when you saw like The Mummy. Like, that was like, yeah, that's exactly how I picture a 1930s adventurer,
Exactly.
And it was, but it's Hollywood. And
the first two were amazing. And then, I love Jet Li, but that third one was just garbage when they did The Mummy 3. I was like, I watched it because I love Jet Li and Brendan Fraser, but then I was like, no, I hate this one. But I'm happy to see him do a comeback. I'm hoping that this is going to start catapulting him back into the spotlight. Yeah, it sucks. It's just going to be his voice, but maybe he'll start doing voice acting or something.
Well, it's one of those things. I think that even, there's a lot to be said for voice actors. There's a big business for it.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, hell, look at Mark Hamill.
Oh, my God.
He went from Luke Skywalker to doing voice work, and he actually started doing voice work for LucasArts for, Full Throttle. He did the voice of Rip Burger.
Okay.
And they even made jokes about some of the stuff, because at the time they were doing the Disney, the Batman animated adventures, and he was voicing the Joker, and literally they had a line like the opening of the game, I gotta deal with this Joker. It's hilarious, but the fact is a lot of people don't realize that, a lot of people have been doing voice acting in video games and TV and what have you.
Yeah.
That's a career all unto itself.
It really is, and it's amazing. It's gonna be nice to see him hopefully come back. It'll be nice to see, because I liked him as an actor. I thought he was a good actor. So it'll be interesting how they're gonna fit him into this world, and hopefully it does well. Because Doom Patrol to me is kind of like almost Guardians of the Galaxy-ish, because it's not everyone knows them. Guardians of the Galaxy really, and then they brought him out.
So basically, they're not gonna have somebody directing it that says it makes jokes years ago, and then they come back and haunt him for.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Well, I saw. Was it you that posted about the being put on hold indefinitely, or no? It
was not me.
No,
but
well, not indefinitely, but the movie's now put on hold because they're trying to get a director, and everyone's like, we want James Gunn back, and it's
Dave Bautista is Drax the Destroyer. So if you know him from wrestling, from WWF, WWE, however long ago he started, he has commented that if they do not bring James Gunn back, he is not going to be in the third film. He's just not going to do it. So we will lose Drax the Destroyer, which I don't know how they're going to write that off. Because they'll have to rewrite the script. And James Gunn has the third script written. Like, it's all dead.
It's done, but because of... This really kills me. Is like, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that, people shouldn't... People can make comments and stuff. But it's literally like, it's one thing if he said it like 3 weeks ago.
This was 10
years. More than 10 years ago. I mean... I am not gonna lie. I'm a totally different person than I was 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I think everyone is because you've learned everything, and then I'm not sure now he regrets it. He regretted it and he says sorry. Then okay.
But that's the whole thing. You regret? I mean, do you have to literally? I said something and everybody doesn't like it, so I'm so sorry I said that. And I feel really bad. Do you? And I'm not saying you shouldn't, but I mean, it's one of these things. Like ever since recently in recent memory, it's like if you say something that a few people don't like and then it gets blown out of proportion, now you have to apologize for not saying something that people like.
Yeah. I mean, he honestly might be sorry now. Like if we asked him 10 years ago, he would say "fuck you," but maybe now he's like, you know what?
Wasn't he coming out of like Trauma Studios at the time? I think that's what it was. Like he was just. I can't. I'm not 100% on that, but somebody had mentioned that he had worked for Trauma Studios, and if you've ever watched a Trauma film,
that's
the whole Toxic Avenger or those movies.
Yeah.
Him saying what he said, you'd be like, oh, okay, it's part of that.
He's a part of that. It's okay.
But it's like that'd be like holding Clive Barker was held responsible for something he said while making Hellraiser. It's like, have you seen Hellraiser?
Yeah.
If he makes a commentary that goes along with that, well, you're gonna hold him responsible because, well, seriously? I mean,
well, it is what it is, I guess now. But I don't know. It would be interesting to see him do some type of comeback or see him do.
I would like to say
like
we got off on tangent. Yeah, Brendan Fraser.
Another actor that's kind of making a bit of a switch, and I'm drawing a blank on his name. He was in The Office, part of the couple, young, kind of funny guy, dry humor.
Directed a Fireplace. John
Cusack? No.
No.
That's the first one that comes to my mind. Sorry.
Cusac's from the 80s.
Yeah.
Amazon has actually created a Jack Ryan series based off of the Tom Clancy books. This is the guy that wrote the books that created the Rainbow Six games.
Yep, that started Rainbow Six Siege. It started the video game studio. I mean, that thing's been around for 20 years now, 22 years?
Yeah.
1997, I want to say. I could be wrong, but 97 is when it was established.
All right, I'm going to screw up his name. Okay. John Krasinski.
Yeah, Krasinski, yeah.
The Jewish
and
guy.
so
Gotcha.
he is...
No,
he was in The Office.
Yeah. No,
and then he was in The Quiet Place. Yeah, he's playing Jack Ryan.
Yeah, he's playing Jack Ryan, who's like the main character in most Tom Clancy books. So that's an Amazon series that, hey, might be worth checking out.
And I did remember people talking about that. They're like, oh, I don't know about him. I was like, do you guys realize the character of Jack Ryan is an analyst? He's a desk jockey.
Well, I think the issue was transitioning from that type of comedy into a more serious drama role. And it really, I've caught a few clips of the trailers. I haven't had a chance to actually check the show out yet myself. I mean, it looks pretty decent.
It does. I'm sure I have to check it out myself. But, I mean, the fact is, actors are actors. They're supposed to be rounded.
They're supposed to be
Heath Ledger, no one thought he was going to be a good Joker, did a good job. You have other guys who went from really, goofy roles to, hey, I'm a serious actor now.
Right.
Oh, Tom Hanks is a great example. Tom Hanks did nothing but these comedies. Like, look at Bachelor Party. You watch Bachelor Party, you go, do you think that actor is one day going to be like this serious actor? Nah, there's no way. Then he does Philadelphia and flips everything,
It's called Bosom Buddies. If you remember him from Bosom Buddies.
Him and his buddy cross-dressed as women so they could live in a all-female building because they got evicted and they were trying to find a place to live. That was the whole premise of the show.
I have to watch that.
And so it was hilarious because these guys, every day when they left, they were like full drag. Like wigs, dresses, makeup, the whole 9 yards. And like there'd be times when neighbors just like, I mean, anybody who's ever lived in an apartment complex, if you ever got to meet your neighbors, knew your neighbors, inevitably a neighbor stops by to drop off a package at your house and they'd have to like scramble to like who was going to open the door.
Yeah.
Because I want to say they were like freelance writers or something where their jobs in the show or something like that, so they could kind of get away. They were home a lot, but
But yeah, they basically had to keep dressing up as women so they could live in this building.
Wow, I have to watch that now.
Oh man, it's great. And the interesting about it, the opening song, it's Billy Joel. It's one of Billy Joel's songs, so it's very catchy.
Nice. So that's cool. So kind of going off from the TV side, I guess then. Big Bang Theory's over after the season.
Yeah. it's had a good run. I don't know how I feel about it.
Yeah. I mean, I on and off watched the last few seasons, so I'll binge them for a few days and then I'll stop because there's a lot of points in the last maybe 2 or 3 years it feels like it's stale. And I think they're gonna. You run into that after 12 years.
Yeah, it's like that's any show. I mean,
yeah, that's why I don't watch this anymore.
Even let's be honest, even great shows like MASH.
Yeah.
There's only so much story you can really tell.
Yeah, the characters eventually have to
move on, grow up, or what have you. I think it had a long run, and honestly, if they're going to end it, at least they're ending it on their own terms. It's not like a show starts really going downhill, and then it just gets where you just don't want to watch it because it's like these characters should have been gone. And a lot of people will complain, a lot of people will be upset, but it's like, I'm a fan of NCIS.
Mm.
I was very upset when the Ziva character left. Now it makes sense because you're gonna have swap out.
Yeah.
But certain things is like once the show starts losing a lot of its cast, like if you actually look at that show, almost none of the original cast is there anymore.
Okay.
So once you get down to where it's almost an entirely different show, why are you keeping a show on if it's
with NCIS though? That's it makes sense because it's a government agency. You're going to have people that are going to promote up, people that are going to transfer to different departments, transfer to different divisions. Mm. So it made the character swap and changes made sense.
Right.
It wasn't forced. And I think Big Bang Theory was just starting to get to that point where how long can we keep Sheldon in the same apartment?
Yeah.
How long are Penny and Leonard going to stay in the same apartment?
Yeah.
Because the natural progression of life, maybe you start in a small apartment, tiny studio apartment, because that's all you need.
Yeah.
But then as time goes on, promotions, life happens.
Yeah, you move up.
You move up. You get into a bigger apartment. You buy a townhouse. You buy a house. You have a condo.
And that's true.
And I think what they were starting to see with the show was because of the certain ramifications that it would have been too difficult if everyone was too far out, that if they could end it now on a good spot, that's better than trying to force it to work out.
And that's possible. I mean, at the same time, they were trying to bring in the comic book owner. I forgot his name, because doesn't he live? I think with Bernadette and Wolowitz.
No, he was living with Wolowitz's mom.
But they live in the house now because remember she died in real life and they moved into the house.
Okay, see, I haven't completely kept up. So
yeah, after the actress died who played the mom, they wrote it in that the mom really did die and he inherited the house.
Okay.
So him and Bernadette been living in the house, but they needed the help. And I want to say, I don't know if he's moved out, but I know he moved in.
But then the comic book store collapsed.
That's when he moved in because the mom was still alive at the time.
Yeah.
So he moved in with the mother, helped, I guess, get raised by her for a minute. Then Bernadette and Wolowitz moved back in.
Yeah.
And then I think he stayed as like an in-home nanny. But then they rebuilt a comic book shop. So I don't know if he moved out or if he's still there. But like you said, I think that was a way for them to help keep this character around by having him still live in this household.
Yeah.
So I don't know because at the same time it's one of those. I think the reason that they're stopping is Sheldon's leaving. I think right, the guy who plays Sheldon Cooper.
I've heard some rumor about that he's ready to move on and do some other stuff.
Yeah, I mean 12 years, and he even said that on Conan O'Brien years ago. He's like, I can't picture myself being 40 or whatever it is and still playing this character.
Yeah.
So I think that's interesting that they're finally moving on and they're finally getting away from it. Like you said, I hope they close on a high note. And like you said, it's better to do it on my terms versus our ratings is so suck that we're just gonna get canceled now.
And I hate to say it, I like all the characters, but unless you would replace Sheldon with another Sheldon-like character, you'd be
and even that.
I don't know. See, what I always was wondering if they would ever. It seems like they're trying to bring in the comic book shop owner. I can't remember his name. They bring in somebody like him, but it never sticks. It never stayed. Like he finally stayed after they've been shoving him down your throat for the last 6 years. It feels like.
Yeah.
Well, but Stuart. But then there's the other side of that too. The comic book shop, the comic book owner. I mean, if you've ever been a steady customer to a store like that, you end up having that interaction. You will have that kind of connection. And I'm not saying I wouldn't say they stuffed him down the throat. I think it makes sense because I mean, one of my favorite little interactions between the group was a card game. Is that weird ass Conquerors of Ka or whatever the weird name of the card game?
Oh my god, he kept selling them over.
Because they were like, well, no, and they're like, well, I wouldn't think that Billy the Kid could beat Gandalf. And he's like, well, they're like, yeah, well, would that really happen? He goes, well, I wouldn't want to, ruin the the option of you find out on your own and like, yeah, give me a pet. And I kind of thought, because hilarious. I laughed because I've seen that kind of interaction with people. Yeah. And I don't think they were really trying to force that character. But at the same time, I don't think he, being as part of that dynamic of friends, I don't think it would have worked trying to add it. It's like, I hate to say it's like South Park, when they got rid of Kenny and they tried to throw Butters in there.
Oh, God.
It didn't work. Butters is a great character on his own.
Yeah.
But not as part of that dynamic.
Not as that
maybe that's the problem, because I know there was a season that he was gone, like the steward.
Yeah.
Because it was like, I think they were trying to say, okay, how do we fit him back into this, like, he's a group of friends.
Yeah. Right, because here's the thing. People with Sheldon either love him or they hate him.
Yeah.
To be completely honest.
I hated him the first season.
But at the same time, I grew up as a penny. Now the problem with that is I'm pretty intelligent.
Yeah.
So, but I had a group of friends that were that much above me that like I was like the penny in the group.
Mm-hmm.
And so I could relate to them because I knew Sheldons. I know people that are still Sheldons.
Yeah.
And so, like, hearing some of these conversations they would have where Sheldon would just be so locked in on something, I could relate to it because I'd had those conversations of like, well, why can't you just sit over there? You know?
Exactly.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, I think the other thing is, too, and this is maybe even my mentality on it, they grew up.
Yeah.
I know how I was in my 20s.
Yeah.
I know how I was in my 30s. Now, don't get me wrong, but how they're playing D&D, and we used to have big ass. I remember literally having tournaments in the barracks for GoldenEye. Now, do we do that now? No, I'll be like, we play it occasionally. But point is you grow up. I think that's why even ending the show the way they are. You've seen these characters in their mid-20s.
Yeah.
Now they're in their mid-30s.
Right.
They've grown up. They become adults.
Yeah.
And I mean, you always are going to have those interactions because it's the geek culture. But let's be honest. Good example. You have games that you've collected.
Mm-hmm.
Have you played all of them? A lot of them lately?
No, probably not.
Now, when you were in college, if you would have got the games, you've been playing them, yeah, because it's something fun to do. You blow your butts for it because that's what you do. And as you grow up, yeah, it kind of sucks because sometimes you don't can do as much as you want because you realize there's adulting that needs to be done.
Yeah. There's jobs, there's kids.
And I think that with this show, they're doing the same thing because if you look, hell, Bernadette and her, oh my God, kids, and then they end up having a kid, and it changes the mentality. But it's the thing. I knew a lot of people like that when I was younger. That were just simply like, dude, I never want to have kids. I never want to have kids. I have a kid, and oh my God, I always want to be a parent. I'm going to be a parent. It's the best feeling in the world. You know, you think something always changes.
Yeah.
So I think that, with the show going off, again, they're doing it on their own terms. I think that's really great.
Exactly. And it really is, because like you said, they get to go out on top. You'd rather go on top than at the very bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, that sucks for CBS because they'll get fights at the door take its place.
Oh, they've got plenty of stuff that they could probably pop into that slot.
The problem is CBS is starting to do their whole, if you want to watch these shows, you got to have our streaming network. And there are people that are kind of upset about that. Especially, like, the only way to watch the new Star Trek show is on their streaming channel. Mm-hmm. You can't even get it on DVD. You can't, it's their streaming channel only. And a lot of people aren't happy about that.
And that's where the media is going, though, now. It's going to the streaming, I think. And that's to save money for the cable people, and they know they need to make money somewhere, well, we're going to make you watch it here. Mm-hmm. So, moving on from television and the shows, and I wanted to give you as much time, because I don't know how much you played it, and of course I have a filler option, of course, if we need it. We Happy Few, because I saw you playing that.
Yeah, I was playing it the other night. So okay,
I've
been playing We Happy Few, just to give everyone a little bit of background. I've been playing We Happy Few for 2 years in beta. The worst part about We Happy Few in beta was I would start playing, and I'd play religiously for like 2 weeks. And I'd get stuck on this quest line that I just absolutely couldn't find the guy for, or I couldn't find the encounter to make it happen. No matter how much I searched online, like, when does this encounter, I couldn't find it. And so I'd get frustrated and say, okay, we're going to put it on the shelf for a few weeks, and I'll come back. Alright, so I come back in a few weeks, they've updated something. Oh, look at that. I'm back in my office. redacting news articles. All right, so let me go ahead and get through this starting. I can still do the starting sequence in my sleep.
I believe
Like, he saw me do, like, it was almost like, it was like a speed run, watching me do the opening sequence, when Microsoft finished it. So, we have a few in beta. These were a few of the kind of things, and I'm pretty sure this was probably part of why people were a little bit iffy about the game to begin with. Is the premise of the game, for those of you that don't know, without giving away too many spoilers, is, well, let me give you the motto of the game. A happy country is one with no past. So, you take 1960s England. This is post-World War II, post-Vietnam, post-Korean War.
You were part of that, though, weren't they?
World War II?
No, Korean...
Vietnam, they were.
Okay.
Yeah. They were one of our allies in that. Off and on. It was really kind of touch or go with that. But no, I knew people that have since immigrated to the United States that were, at the time, in the British military.
Oh, okay. Never knew that.
Yeah.
What's up now?
So, but in the original game, you came out and you had like this community that maybe had like 12 buildings, and you're like, wow, this is a tiny village. What in the world?
Yeah.
And the rest of it was like forest land.
Yeah.
No big deal. There was not a lot of tutorialness going on. So, like, you would get a quest, and we've all played these games, I think, where you get a quest and you're trying to find your quest line and where to go, and there's nothing to tell you where to go. So the problem is that when We Happy Few, you come out, everyone is instantly angry. You are, like, KOS to them. But you don't know why, because it hasn't given you enough background. So, basically, they want you to stay on your antidepressants. They call it joy. So they want you to keep taking your meds, because then you're happy, and you don't notice that everything's redacted, and you don't notice how bad the world is.
Right.
And when I mean bad, I mean one of the opening sequences, and this is something that it shows in a lot of the trailers. So there's this scene where you're welcomed into this party, and, oh look, we've got a pinata, and it's for so-and-so's going away.
Beautiful Mexican tradition.
Yeah.
Spanish.
And
They say
Spanish tradition. And at this point, depending on which route you've chosen to go, if you didn't take your pill in the beginning, because there's a point when you kind of start to come down off of it, and that's like the point where you're like, oh, I need my medicine, and they take more. Or if you choose to not take it, by the time you get to this party, it's wearing off from whatever you've taken earlier. And as they finish breaking into this pinata and they're all grabbing the candy, all of a sudden it comes off, like the medication wears off, and you see that they're eating this giant rodent that they've literally just beaten with
a stick.
With brooms. Yeah. So a little bit dark, but it's dark in that like mirror funhouse kind of dark way. So in the first 2 years of it, there you get out and you couldn't figure out why people didn't like you, and you have to talk to everybody. So you're trying. It doesn't tell you who's a quest giver. It doesn't show you anything to indicate this person has a mission, or this is just an NPC you talk to. Nothing.
Yeah. So
you're literally trying to talk to people, and you're hoping to God no one else comes up and shanks you from behind.
Yeah.
So now, as a lot of you found out watching E3, Microsoft bought the rights and finished the game. Yeah. Thank you, Microsoft. Right now, you're my savior.
Microsoft's better than Sony.
For two reasons. One, I no longer have to worry about my game starting me back over at the very beginning.
Oh god, yeah. That's
because
so annoying.
That really, I think, was what was really pushing me over the edge with it, where I was just about to be like, you know what, let me know when it's done. Because it never seemed to fail. I even had a couple times when, like, I'd play, and, like, I'd play for 1 or 2 days, and I'd come back on day 3, and it would start me from the beginning. I'm just like, oh, what? No.
Yeah.
No. Like I needed joy at this point. Because, you know, so in the new game, it's still, the opening scene is still kind of gives you a little bit of that, like, oh, wait a minute. And there are characters that worked in the office with you at some point that you realize aren't there. So in the new game, One of the things that I probably thought was like the best part is when you get out into the world, you climb out from this bunker that you've managed to get yourself into.
Yeah.
Because you're never really 100% sure. They keep talking about a war. They keep talking about there's touches on because, like we said, they don't want to have a past.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot of talk as to what brought them to the place they're in.
Right.
So that was where it was really kind of confusing, I think, for me and kind of a lot of players. At first, it's like, okay, so how did things get to this point? Why are we here?
Right.
What's the deal? Well, so now that it's finished, the first thing that happens is when you crawl out, you see all these buildings and this destruction. But there's also a giant World War II German plane crashed into the middle of town.
Mm.
So you're starting to see some of this. You're walking around and you're still seeing some dead bodies. You're still seeing some of the mayhem. And the one thing that I think was like I said, right now, Microsoft, you're my best friend when it comes to this game. Because you're my savior when it comes to this game. Because in all the time I've ever played this game, the very first most important mission is to get across this bridge to get you out of the little town you're in to move on to the bigger story.
Right.
In the beta, I could never find the encounter to get the power cell to trigger the bridge. Well, let me rephrase that. I could. I got smart because, like I said, it restarted a bunch of times. Yeah. And so those of you that are just starting at the beginning of the game, you're thinking, well, why didn't you just take the power cell out of your machine in your office? Oh, I did that. Mm. And then as soon as the bobbies caught up to me, they jacked it from me. So I get out into the world and I'm like, I got a power cell. Check my inventory. Where the hell did my power cell go?
Yeah.
So yeah, I tried all kinds of like sneaky hack ways, and then like in one of the updates, you'd find a bunch of empty cells. Like you could find all the empty ones. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, well how do I fill it?
Yeah.
There was one encounter you had to find. I don't know what triggered the encounter. I tried searching in morning. I tried searching in daytime, nighttime. No matter what, I could not find this encounter that everyone talked about online, where you go rescue this guy from some bullies and he pukes into it because he got overly exposed to this radioactive material, so now he pukes it up into this power cell stuff. And he can power, I'm not saying the continuity was good, but they had to figure out a way to make it happen.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So, now that it's finished, not only do you have this great, really immersive environment, which really kind of shows you a little bit, and it makes more sense.
Right.
That you have these little groups that have banded together here and there, and then there are other people that are just wandering around kind of lost.
Yeah.
But it directs you to a guy who, the first mission, and how you end up getting this power cell, is you have to find his war medals.
Okay.
So he talks about how these are my war medals, they stole them from me.
Yeah.
Your mission is to go find them. And that kind of tutorials you through, like, combat and movements, things that, oh, Lord, the first 2 years of beta didn't really do for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, so like I said, for those of you that know history, you're going to recognize, like, the World War II planes, you're going to notice the bunker setups, you're going to notice these things that tells you, okay, the war that turned everything for this area was World War II.
Yeah.
Then, for anybody who maybe wasn't sure if that's what they were talking about, as you get across the bridge, because you get through, you run away before the machine zaps you for not having your joy.
Yeah.
And you come to this arch, and there's these 3 people hanging with signs that say traitor. And he starts having this dialogue about, maybe we should have made the Germans. Why didn't we just give the kids to the Germans? Mm-hmm. Why didn't we make them come take them? Maybe, if we would have just stood up then. Which kind of gets you back, like you said, if you weren't sure, it kind of starts leading you back to, because let's face it, the video game industry loves to pick on Nazis. Like, I'm sorry.
I mean,
anybody who doesn't like it, I'm sorry. They did a lot of bad things, so you're going to instantly be a target.
Yeah.
For now.
Well.
Until they find a way to make it sympathetic, and then people will be like, oh, you can't be mad at them.
Don't mind him. He's always this grumpy.
Hey, I'm sorry.
So
you should grumpy with grumpets.
Yeah.
You know?
So, but it does. It gives you a lot more. It gives you characters that you can. Oh, and it actually finally helps you understand why everyone's trying to attack you.
Mm-hmm.
So when you first come out of the office, you're actually in a nice, clean suit. Well, these are the people that have been out there struggling for who knows how long.
Yeah.
So you don't look like them. You don't have their same struggle. So there's actually like a portion now where they bring you in and they're like, hey, you need to like mess up your suit, and they actually walk you through like the crafting portion of the game.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, because that was something that the beta really didn't have. Like I learned to craft on accident in the first beta when it was first like, hey, you can buy the beta of We Happy Few. Be one of the first to get in on this. Yeah, I taught myself how to craft. I had no clue. All I knew was because we've all had this discussion. You guys have heard me talk about it. I don't know how many times on my own podcast. I'm all about dystopia. I love dystopian reality.
Yeah.
So the one thing dystopian realities have taught me is collect everything. So here I am running around the game collecting anything and everything.
Yeah.
And in one of the last, and it hasn't happened to me yet in this, now that they've changed it, but in the last update before the beta, they suddenly gave you, like, a weight limit.
You're like, oh, shit.
Yeah, and so, now, well, the cool thing is, though, you can find these bunkers.
Yeah.
And you can put them in these pneumatic safes, and then you can access your stuff from anywhere. So very similar to the Fallout concept of the mailboxes.
Okay.
But I could never, ever find another pneumatic drop bunker.
So you have the one.
So I had one bunker in one section that I could drop all my crap in, but then I couldn't find another one, so I always had to run back there if I needed stuff.
Yeah.
And if I got and so the problem with that is then it would make you overburdened. So I'm playing and I got all this stuff, and then it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh, you're overburdened, and you're like walking like you're trudging through molasses.
Yeah.
So yeah, I haven't gotten to that point yet since the full updates come out yet. But yeah, definitely. I mean, if you guys like dystopian games, if it's something you're interested in checking out, I would strongly recommend checking it out.
Yeah.
Because now that it's finished, it's the game that they intended it to be.
Mm-hmm.
I really think the reason it was getting a bad rep is because there was so much wrong with beta.
Probably.
And I understand wanting to give it that complex nature and the, hey, how would things really be? But here's the thing. I mean, you've got someone who's played for 2 years.
Yeah.
I never could get myself across that bridge.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a pretty experienced gamer.
Yeah.
I played MMORPGs where you don't get a lot of instruction. You just kind of got to wing it.
Yeah.
So I'm good at winging it. Like, I know how to do the wing it thing. And I could not wing it enough to even when I get hung up on stuff, and I'm like, well, okay, someone has to have gotten past this. Let me go to the internet.
Yeah.
I think what was happening is things in the game were changing so quickly that they'd set up an encounter. Okay, this is where you get it. Okay, great. Okay. Well, then they make an update and they take out that encounter. And they change it to a different type of encounter. But the problem was the people who played past that had not gone back and played again because we know how it is. Like we said, we've all got games on our shelf that we played them all the time when we first got them, and we probably haven't touched them now in 6 months to a year.
Exactly.
So I'm sure it's the same thing with We Happy Few. You have some people that bought it in beta. They played it through start to finish, or what was finished at the time.
Yeah.
They moved on to something else later, and they never went back to it. And so then when they made these changes, you could never figure out, like, how to get to the new encounter because you didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
And there wasn't ever enough instruction. Very rarely was there enough instruction. Like, sometimes when you'd have to go get someone and be like, well, hey, I'll give you this if you go get me a batch of honey.
Yeah.
Okay, how do you find honey? Okay, you have to find bees. Like, those are the things that you would kind of connect up in your, okay. Or, oh, I'm bleeding, I need bandages. Okay, well, let me go find cloth to make bandages.
Exactly.
So some of the things are really self-explanatory, but when it's like, find a power cell, and she'll like keycard off a Bobby to get across this bridge.
Yeah.
Well, I could choke out a Bobby and get his keycard. That wasn't a problem. I was ninja at that.
Yeah.
But then I'd have this Bobby's ID card, But now I can't get a full power cell, so I can't power up the bridge to go.
Exactly. Still.
For 2 years, I could not get a power cell.
I can't find one power cell.
I could not find a single full power cell.
That's funny.
So yeah, I mean, definitely now you've got achievements now.
Mm-hmm.
There's better quest tracking, so like you can see on your map like where things are.
Yeah.
Very similar actually to kind of the way Fallout does it.
Yeah.
Where you've got an arrow that points you the right direction, and then as you scan, you'll see like how it'll give you symbols for houses and safe houses and various things.
That's cool.
So yeah, I mean, I definitely, if it's something that you wanted to check out or were interested in, I would definitely recommend it. It's a much better game now that it's finished.
No, it's done. I mean, like you said, now that they have Microsoft's money, they have that pocketbook now. And that's what they needed.
I'm not even sure if it was so much that. I think some of it was a matter of when you get an idea, sometimes you get stuck in that idea.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, like, sometimes, unfortunately, in a lot of games, sometimes they don't put a lot of effort into the environment.
Yeah.
Because I mean, honestly, I can run around the Halo universe all day long, not care about the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, hey, do I have somewhere to hide? Yes. Can I get a warthog? I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
But there are other games where, if they're story-driven games, like We Happy Few really is story-driven.
Right.
You need that environment.
And that's true.
You need that immersion.
Yeah.
One of the other cool little like snippets I'll let you guys know about is you actually now, and this is for anybody that had ever played it before and now you're just maybe thinking about getting back into it.
Yeah.
There's now they're memories is what they are.
Mm-hmm.
So as the joy continues to wear off and you go through the game, you find these things, you click on them and it takes you back to a memory.
Yeah.
And these memories have to do with the main character and his brother.
Okay.
And so it kind of gives you a little bit more of that background for the whole thing and like kind of, and I mean, I've only uncovered like a couple of them so far because I haven't gotten really far in. But yeah, it definitely gives you a little bit more of that closure to the game, and it makes you it gives you more, you want to get to know this character more now. It's not just some guy who was a desk jockey who said, I'm tired of taking pills, and now everyone chases him around because he's a downer.
Yeah.
The game actually kind of explains a little bit more of it to you now, which I think is really what was needed.
Exactly.
As well as, like we said, just better gameplay.
That's true, and I'm glad it's finally gotten off the ground after 2+ years.
2 years, yeah.
God, it's also great.
Yeah.
Once we talked about it the other day, or last couple of weeks, I was like, fuck, it has to actually be like.
Yeah, it's coming up on 3.
3 at least, because of
the time that's gone by, yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool though. I mean, so I'm glad that one's out, and like I said, I wanted to make sure you talk about it because I haven't played it because I don't have it. It hasn't interested me ever. Like you said, maybe now I might get interested in it just because the environment looks good. It's what I want in a story-driven game. I want everything to look nice. So hopefully,
well, it wasn't like the graphics and the beta were good.
Yeah, they were.
The problem was it was just so much of the same thing.
Yeah, it's like copy paste building.
Yeah.
So.
Like, I would even get lost. Like, I couldn't remember what buildings I'd rated for stuff and which ones I hadn't. I'm like, which ones did I already kill everybody in because they keep attacking me? Like, you know.
I've killed the same guy like 10 times, I swear. Yeah. So, I mean, that makes sense, though.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. But on that note, I mean, it's getting close to that time anyway.
It is.
So, I don't think, probably going to do stream like normal. I'm thinking the gaming one. Right now. Yeah. So 4:30, we're gonna do it if someone finds their copy of the game. I'm staring at you because she's staring at you now. So we just need to find somebody's copy of the game. Is all I know.
I'm still trying to find it.
So
it couldn't have left the room. It's got to be somewhere.
It's in a room.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
In a box. So we will hopefully be playing that one, all 3 of us, and not just Grim crying the whole time as we're playing. You look so like you just sounded so down while we played. Like you sounded so defeated.
Because literally since the release of the new ship, I was so excited, and every week something was coming up that we haven't been able to play. And it's just like, even with her not being able to play, I was just so excited. I'm like, it's a 3-player ship or 3 players, and now I don't have to remember running into stuff because my person that's supposed to be in the crow's nest is like, look, there's a bird over here, and we hit a rock. So I was really excited that we could all.
I've never done that. That was your other friend.
And then Grim lost my copy of the game.
I didn't. Oh my god! I'm gonna. I lost it.
You're off the next couple of days. You should
No, I'm not.
Okay,
Ready to search tomorrow.
You're off by 5 tomorrow, so you got time. But yeah, so hopefully all three of us will be playing finally. What's the ship called again? Do you remember?
The Brigantine.
The Brigantine. Hopefully all three of us will be there so we can actually.
And I already when it was all the stuff was on sale.
Actually,
I bought
we won't be able to play at 4:30.
Yeah, I'll be at work.
Oh yeah, we'll be after you get off then, I guess. So I don't have any plans, so it's up to y'all. I can play later, so it's up to you too.
Okay.
But no, I actually have
Maybe
stuff. So
5,
there's
6.
like I have a figurehead for the ship, and I have new sails, and
Mm-hmm.
so I mean that's where I was like, it's our ship, yeah.
Hopefully, then I mean it'll be nice to finally have all three of us.
We found and you know Vash here found out. Hey, look, when there's a skeleton running at you with a barrel, run or shoot it and get the hell out the way.
I thought the person I saw blew up on you.
Yeah,
Because I'm like, huh.
I turned around. I was like, oh crap. That was it.
The
He's
only
like,
thing-
wow, look at those shockwaves made the ship move.
Yeah, I mean that was interesting physics in the game. It's like you could see because it blew up just on the shore, and he was like halfway away from the ship, so maybe like a good half distance or whatever. It blew up. You see him die, and you see the ship just go rock.
The waves.
And then there was one a little bit further into the shore, and it just didn't move at all when it blew up. I was like, oh, okay, so it is actually a good physics engine right here. I enjoy that. That's just something I like. But it made me panic enough to go run and check on the ship because I'm like, the ship moved a lot.
No, we found out what happens when a barrel goes off on the ship. Oh.
Yeah. I'm just glad we got to turn in some stuff.
Yeah. It's always fun.
But hopefully, so
we'll have that.
That'll be maybe like around more like 5:36,
Okay.
maybe a little bit later.
And then,
I think that's all we have this week.
like I said, I might try and make it out to the movies before next.
Okay, so next
broadcast
Sunday,
to see if I
hopefully.
can to watch, the Happy
Yeah,
Time Murders and give my fun input on it.
Cool. Well, so hopefully we'll have that next week, guys.
Rotten Tomatoes has a guaranteed fresh. It was like perfect for Submariners.
Oh God. So hopefully we'll have all that settled up. I don't think anything else going on.
Oh yeah, you gotta talk about the big. We gotta talk about the big thing that's starting up. Football.
No.
Yeah, sorry.
That's an inside joke. So.
I couldn't even keep a straight face.
That's an inside joke for anyone. You're not. Yeah. If you ever meet us in real life, you'll figure that out. But anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe, of course. Give us any ideas you want to talk about. I know in 2 weeks Spider-Man comes out on the 7th, September 7th.
How old is he in this one? Like 6?
No, he's actually old. He's in his late 20s, early 30s.
Oh, is this the animated one? The animated movie or the game?
If the video game comes out.
Oh, there's an animated movie coming out.
Yeah, that's December, I think.
Alright, guys, before we get off on Tangent Dragons.
Dragons.
My tangent
Oh
dragon.
God, you're gonna make me go on a tangent on dragons next. So yeah, so that'll be in a couple weeks. But I think that's all we have planned. So guys, just make sure, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Hope you enjoy. If you have any other topics you want to hear about next week, let us know on Facebook, facebook.com/geeksoftheweb. Instagram, same thing.
Yep.
Twitter, same thing. But I honestly don't check it as much. I need to check it more.
So,
So,
we can't.
yeah.
With our Tangent Dragons, we can't say anything of 120 characters or less.
Exactly why I don't do it. So again, guys, like, comment, subscribe. This is Vash checking out. Y'all have a good one.
As always, everybody, flags high, shield maiden sun now.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid.